Friday afternoon, everybody. Welcome back down to my library. And today, you guys are going to get my final book haul of 2023. And to be clear, I will have an announcement video telling you guys about my reading plans for next year. There will be a hint. Probably not going to get as many books as I have been getting in these next coming months. But there is going to be a massive read what you own challenge that I want to participate in. Because looking around me, yeah, got a lot of these suckers to get through, so I decided to treat myself, and there is like a variety of like extreme horror, general horror, and even some nonfiction in this haul. So I went a little bit of everywhere this month. So if you've seen my videos, you know by now that I start off with my online orders, and I have 3 books here from Amazon. Let's go ahead and pull it up and begin. Here they are. So the first book I want to show off is The Prettiest Girl in the Grave by Christopher Triana. And what I understand about this, it's about like a group of goth girls who play like a deadly game in a cemetery, and they conjure something evil. Now, earlier last month, I did manage to read Gone to See the Riverman, and I really enjoyed it. So I thought about getting a couple more Christopher Triana for the collection. But I don't know if this is like extreme horror, but I will see. The Prettiest Girl in the Grave. And this definitely gives off a good Halloween book too. Speaking of Gone to See the Riverman, I got its sequel, Along the River of Flesh, and this is just a continuation of that story, but it follows new characters, and I think that they are detectives, so I will definitely get into this next year, because I really do want to see what's going to happen here. So that was Along the River of Flesh by Christopher Triana. And the final book I got in that order was Kin by Kaylin Patrick Burke. And this is in the vein of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Wrong Turn. So, background noise. But that sounds pretty messed up, and I'm all for it. It's about a little bit over 260 pages, so I definitely do want to get to it as soon as possible. But that was Kin by Kaylin Patrick Burke. Continuing on with the video, all the rest of these books are from Barnes & Noble. So I have like 3 hardcover books here. Rest are just paperback. Let's see what I got. First one I want to show off is The Exorcist Legacy 50 Years of Fear. This is by Nat Segaloff. and this is all about the making of The Exorcist. So this dives deep into like uh, how people reacted to it, and it like goes in depth about the whole movie. So big fan of The Exorcist. I definitely want to learn more about this landmark horror movie. So that was The Exorcist Legacy 50 Years of Fear. It's got a really cool cover too. Might glow in the dark. We'll see. But I actually found this in the entertainment section. So I knew that this was a book, but I had no idea if I could actually get it. There was a Barnes & Noble. Does she have to do that? But continuing on, I've got The September House by Carissa Orlando. And this has a blurb here that just says, just when he thought he'd seen everything a haunted house novel could do, this book comes along. Grady Hendrix. And this is about like a house that has like a certain haunting every September. So I heard that this is kind of like How to Sell a Haunted House. And I really did enjoy that book from earlier this year. So I'm hoping to get into this next year. And the final book is Maeve Fly by C.J. Leedy. And this is pitched to me where like a Disney princess has the urge of Patrick Bateman. So it's kind of like American Psycho. And I heard that this is kind of mixed through a lot of people. And I definitely got it for the cover buy. So I'm intrigued by this. It's really not that long. So it goes to 271 plus acknowledgments. So it should be a pretty fun read, I hope. But that was Maeve Fly by C.J. Leedy. The rest, paperback. So give me one sec. Okay, I'm back. First book I want to show off is from my paperback stack here. This is Mary by Nat Cassidy, and it says An Awakening of Terror. And I do believe that this has something to do with like a woman who has short-term memory loss, and she doesn't realize that she could be a serial killer. Now I heard a lot of people rant and rave about this, so it should be a pretty good one to get into. It looks long, but I think it goes to, a little bit over 400 pages. But I was very intrigued by this. But that was Mary by Nat Cassidy. Next, it's going to be The Night Parade by Ronald Malfi. And I'm going to read the back here. First the birds disappeared, then the insects took over, and the madness began. They call it wanderer's folly, a disease of delusions, of daydreams and nightmares, a plague threatening to wipe out the human race. After 2 years of creeping decay, David Arlen woke up one morning thinking that the worst was over. By midnight, he's bleeding and terrified. His wife is dead, and he's on the run in a stolen car with his 8-year-old daughter who may be the key to a cure. Ellie is a special girl, deep, insightful, as she knows David is lying to her, lying about her mother, lying about what they're running from, and lying about what he sees when he takes his eyes off the road. So it's kind of vague, but it kind of sounds like, I guess, post-apocalyptic, and it kind of gives me The Stand vibes. Much shorter, obviously, but this is Ronald Malfi's vision. So I did read Come With Me earlier this month, and I really did enjoy it. So I did get a Ronald Malfi in this year, but I have quite a few to get to for next year. But this is just one of them, The Night Parade. Followed by The Auctioneer by Joan Samson, and this is a Paperbacks from Hell. So, like I have been doing, I'm gonna try and find this sucker for you guys. Well, here is the original cover right there. So that is technically in it is in Real Estate Nightmares, so this has to do something with real estate, I guess. So I'm gonna read the back of it. Harrowing tensions explode in a series of events that could happen anywhere to anyone, just as they do to John Moore, whose days of freedom run out, who is stripped of his possessions, his courage, and his hopes by the ominous presence of a stranger impossible to resist. So, doesn't give me anything, but this looks kind of Christmassy in a way. So, that was The Auctioneer by Joan Samson. And this is only it's only about like 235, so it's not too big. So that was The Auctioneer. Continuing on, this is technically a Christmas book that I kind of do want to get to for next year. Krampus, the Yule Lord by Bram. And this is all about Krampus. And I just know that Bram is his own illustrator, so he's got like a lot of pictures in here. So I think it's pretty cool for him to like do this to show off his art style. And he does have another one called Slewfoot, which is about like witches, but I think this one sounds a little bit more interesting. So that is Krampus, the Yule Lord by Bram. Next, Suffer the Children by Craig DeLuey. And this is technically like a vampire novel. It's about like children all around the world dying at the same time, and they all come back with evil intentions. So I heard that this is supposed to be pretty messed up, and I really like that cover as well. I did read a Craig DeLuey like a couple of years back on Audible, and it was more of like a short story, but I really did enjoy it. So I'll put the name of that story when I edit here. So I thought about checking this one out. But that was Suffer the Children. Nestlings by Nat Cassidy is up next. And I heard that a lot of people love this book. And a lot of people are calling it like the best horror book of the year. So this is pitched to me as Rosemary's Baby meets Salem's Lot. So it's about like this couple who just had a baby and they are down on their luck. So they find like this apartment building and they start their life there. But a few days later, they notice like little bite marks on their kid. So they don't know what's happening. And that's all I know about this book. But I heard that this is supposed to be pretty depressing. And it's definitely got a lot of that parental nightmare fuel. So I definitely do want to check this out with Mary. So I might have a little reading dual thing. But that was Nestlings. Oh yeah, and by the way, this actually released on Halloween of this year. So I just wanted to throw that out. But I have 3 more books here. And 2 of them are nonfiction. And the other one is a mystery thriller. Next, Lords of Chaos, The Bloody Rise of the Satanic Metal Underground by Michael Moynihan and Didrik Soderlund. So, this is the history of black metal and its influence in the 80s. A lot of people thought that this was very evil music. I mean, you got a church burning, and that was a very prominent role in the black metal revolution. So, a lot of these guys got into a bunch of trouble with it. So, I guarantee you this is going to be a very fascinating book. So, I definitely wanted to check it out. And I definitely do want to get into more music books too. So, this is part of that list. And I can tell that it's already got a lot of pictures, so it should be pretty easy to read. Even though it's got like very dark subject matter. Next, Gone Baby Gone by Dennis Lehane. And this is based off of a movie that came out in 2006. And I know it stars Casey Affleck. So I'm just going to read the back. The tough neighborhood of Dorchester is no place for the innocent or the weak. Its territory is defined by hard heads and even harder look. Its streets are littered with the detritus of broken families, hearts, and dreams. Now one of its youngest is missing. Private investigators Patrick Kenzie and Angela Gennaro don't want the case. But after pleas from the child's aunt, they open an investigation that will ultimately risk everything. Their relationship, their sanity, and even their lives to find a lost girl, a little lost girl. So, yeah. Like I said, all I know is that this is based off of a movie. And I definitely do want to try and get into Dennis Lehane next year. Because I have like a few of his books. That's what you do when you want to find a new author. You get a ton of books and you don't ever get to them. I admitted it. But that was Gone, Baby Gone. Final book, and I really had no intention on picking this up, but I got American Sniper by Chris Kyle, and this is the autobiography of the most lethal sniper in U.S. history. So, a few years back, Clint Eastwood made a movie about Chris Kyle called American Sniper, and that starred Bradley Cooper in the role, and I do think it's a very fascinating movie. But actually, reading the book will definitely be more fascinating, because this dude lived a very, very hard life. I mean, he went through Iraq, Afghanistan, and he was a decorated soldier until one vet just snapped and shot him dead. It was one of the most prolific funerals broadcasted in television history. So it's going to be a very tough read for sure. But I definitely do want to read it. That was American Sniper. And that, folks, is the end of my book buying expedition for 2023. So, my next task is to read the suckers. But, hope you guys enjoyed. And, my next video, more than likely, is going to be the top 10 best books that I read this year. So I haven't decided if I wanted to do that next or just wait till tomorrow, but we'll see. I do have a couple videos to upload for you guys today, so probably focus on that, then do the top 10 best books of the year tomorrow. But I also have to finish the drawing of the 3 and make a review for that. And then 2023 is done. So I will also put out an announcement on how I'm going to approach the Read What You Own challenge. So make a whole video out of that. And for the channel moving forward, I plan on making a monthly TBR and also a monthly wrap up. So I thought it would add a little bit more variety for the channel. And it also gives you guys a sneak peek of what I'm reading. So lots of interesting stuff coming up. 2024 can't get here soon enough because I'm ready for a new year of reading, and we'll see how well I go with my goal. But also, as a bonus video, and I've seen a lot of YouTubers do this, they do, well, it'll be like the 24 books to read in 2024. So they pick out an X amount of books that they want to read throughout the new year. I do want to film that video, so that's going to be like a bonus video coming up. But I'm going to go ahead and upload some of these videos for you guys. And I'm just going to say Thanks for a great year, and we're almost there. But that's all I got for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios. Peace.